I'm still sick with pneumonia, uh, and I haven't been making content, but kind of gonna go on a rant here. First of all, it's gonna be praise. One of my favorite shows uh, of all time is Frasier, the original Frasier. I've watched it numerous times. It's one of those that it's like comfort food for me. I go back to it when I'm stressed, even. Sometimes it's something that I'll have on in the background because it's familiar and it's expected. And so when I'm having anxiety issues, it helps calm me down. Uh, and there are other shows that do that for me too. And I love the new Frasier's, the reboot. And one of the mistakes a lot of shows make, and the first Frasier didn't make this because Kelsey Grammer said he'd only do this spin-off if they took the character in a completely different way. It didn't feel like it was continuing Cheers or anything. It was its own show. It felt new and fresh. And that's exactly what Frasier gave us. And they really barely paid lip service to Cheers at all, which is what made it work. Yes, we had some guest shows, guest star appearances from it, from Cheers, but they were so random, and they were well after we'd established the ensemble cast that happened and the storylines. So one of the mistakes Scrubs made when they tried to spin off to a med school version of Scrubs with a new cast, though they had a few old people staying in the show, they were more mentors for this new group of med students, and it was kind of going in a different direction. The problem is every other show was a guest star with someone from the original show coming on, JD or Elliot or someone else. They kept coming onto the show over and over and over, and it distracted you. They were building a great ensemble with that show, and yet they kept bringing these old characters back and giving them large portions of these storylines. And instead of giving it to this new group and trusting them that the audience was going to love this new group of kids and this new situation they were in, which was unique and genuine. It didn't catch on, and partly because, yes, we love our fan favorites, but by giving them too much time, we're just building on nostalgia, and nostalgia isn't going to get us there. And ultimately, the people watching know that. These people aren't staying on the show. Why do I want to commit to this show just to see them do all the same old gags again? That's one of the mistakes that I saw the first season of Night Court. Now, I haven't watched it again. They kept doing too much lip service to Judge Harry Stone. Yeah, I know they want to pay some homage to him because, that's where the foundation of Night Court is, and this is supposed to be his daughter. But once again, I thought they had a good show and a good ensemble cast, but we kept getting that nostalgia. And most of the kids watching this, most of the people watching this, don't even remember Night Court. Trust your cast and trust your writers and just give us a good show. Now, Frasier did that, especially with the first season. We got a great ensemble. Yes, we don't have Niles and Daphne there, but that was okay. The young man they cast as Niles' son is so good and makes you feel like he is continuing that legacy so well. But as a youth, a very youthful part of the ensemble, and we have other characters that were very interesting. Here are the biggest drawbacks that they have: is they're not able to develop these characters very well at all, just because Paramount has only been giving them 10 episodes. So the second season, they started going back and giving us the nostalgia. I love Perry Gilpin. I love the Roz character. But we actually, I think, saw too much of her. Unless she is really going to move to Boston and become a regular part of the ensemble. The problem with that is to justify that, we also need her daughter Alice to become a regular part of that ensemble. And Alice just wasn't there enough to justify the Roz character being there as much. Now, that sets up some conflict. The problem is you have too many characters that we've already started falling in love with, that they already can't give enough storyline time to, because there's only 10 episodes. So trust the cast that you've got. I love Frasier, and I want to see it again. I know they're shopping it to another network because Paramount doesn't really want it. I hope they get it, but I really hope they get, even if it stays in a streaming format, I hope they will get someone who will give it at least an 18 episode. Then we can see some of those expanded storylines that really make a sitcom something that you can dig into, because there's something fresh every week. I love the 3-camera sitcoms. They're like I said, they're kind of like comfort food for me. And Frasier, the character and the ensemble of the original and the new cast are great. And maybe someone out there can get this to the and like this and repost this. I'd like to see more Frasier. I'd like to see another network pick it up and give it the trust to give it a larger episode count so we can have those storylines. If they want to bring the Roz character in, they can justify that. It's easy to justify it, but she needs to be a regular part of the ensemble and not someone they bring on for a nostalgia factor. We need to see her become part of that group. They had that chemistry going already. Even with only 10 episodes, we fell in love with Alan. We fell in love with Frasier's son. Those characters were really starting to gel, even in 10 episodes. To make it really go, we need more. If they're going to stick with the 10 episodes, then they need to try to narrow it down to those characters they established in that first season, and not try to go too hard with that nostalgia for the old show. The people that you want to watch it didn't watch the old show anyway, other than a few of us like me who I'm going to watch it anyway. Please give us more Frasier. Find someone who will take it, but find someone who will do the right thing with it, and don't try to just give us the old show. I like to see where it is going from here, because that's what makes it fresh and new and exciting. Anyway, my rant is over. I'm still getting over pneumonia, so I'm not doing any funny content because I just don't have the energy. But I've been sitting here by myself a lot today, and I got to thinking about this show that I really like, and I just needed to say it to someone. So there it is. Sorry if you had to listen to it, but if you think the way I do, please repost it.